Hey guys, today we're playing a game because I felt like playing a game. Let's try that again. Hey guys, I felt like playing a game, so we're playing this game I got for free for the winter sale. And let's check it out. Sure. So,
hey, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I just kind of talk about my experience as a low-income delivery driver, and also how my girlfriend saved my life. Isn't that right, honey?
Yes.
And also how I was able to afford a horse after all of that. Isn't that right, boy? Settle down. I'm gonna edit that, so.
Me and her, we broke up. She broke up with me about a week and a half ago, and it has been very rough. She was someone who I wanted to spend
And I was like, I can't
a very long time with.
right now. I'm not coming home
And
everybody else.
today I felt good enough to record this, but I'm still carrying her around. And well, anyways,
And I DoorDash.
I don't know. That's how long it took me to edit this video.
Elementary school.
That I'm not even with her anymore. I mean, I probably recorded the video that you're gonna watch like 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. And I've been editing it for a while, kind of on and off.
Nice.
Probably not. No, it's probably not spent that much time editing it. But
Come and get it. I have your toy.
you know, I'm
Oh, what?
doing my best. I don't really want to get into it on here, obviously.
Alright.
I mean, this is YouTube. So
This is very power.
that's
power cleaning simulator.
sad, but whatever. Most of the video is just me talking about myself, but I'll keep that little bit in at the start with her.
Alright, let's
Just
sand
'cause whatever.
this.
All right, little Zippy out. Zippy
How do I
out.
sand, bro?
Be whoop. Be whoop. Got one day I'm gonna hate taking that fucking YouTube. So, anyways, I'm dashing, and I kind of get into this groove. It's pretty late at this point. I don't really know when to stop. So, all right, man. How do I stop sanding, dude? I can't with this game. All right. And I'm pretty much going to this McDonald's over and over the whole night. Honestly, let's just start at the top. So the beginning of the night, I'm in my bed, right? I'm just in my room, just chilling on my bed, and my little brother comes into my room with a mouse in a jar, right? And that's pretty normal, because usually we'll what? I can't do anything. What? Oh, of course. Now it makes sense. Look at that beautiful toy. So my brother comes in with the mouse, and I'm like, well, usually I'm never pressing that button ever again. Usually, if there's a mouse running around, you know, well, we have 2 cats that we got. They're kittens, they're pretty young. You'll, how do I send you home? Alright, whatever. Well, usually, if you put a, like a jar in front of it, they'll just run in. Because they're running from all these mice. I mean, it takes a while, but if you can get into the hang of it, then you can. Okay, well, I just finished. Sleep. No. Wait, what? No way. What? I can look at my fish. Yeah, I'm 100% done. How do I send this shit back? I don't remember. Deliver. Okay. Let's do this shit. And then once you have it in the jar, we usually take it outside or something. But the thing is, even if it was alive, it's like snowy outside. Well, I guess mice are, you know, obviously they can survive the snow. Because, I mean, how else would they survive in the winter? Right. So he gives it to me and I'm like, okay, well, I guess they want me to take it outside. But he hands it to me and I'm looking in this jar. I'm texting my girlfriend. I sent her a picture, and when I send her a picture of the front, it's okay. And then I send her a picture from the top, and before I send it, I look, and when I take the picture from the top, I realize it's bleeding, and there's like something pink coming out of it. It looks like my cat bit it, and where it bit, it punctured its neck and its stomach area, I guess. And its intestines were coming out, or at least one intestine was coming out, you could see. So it was just sitting there up against the glass, and its pink mush was up against the glass, and there was a little bit of blood. So I go downstairs. My mom just made dinner for everyone. My mom just made dinner. I want to eat dinner. And I was just kind of like, honestly, I didn't know what to do. I was asking ChatGPT. I was like, ChatGPT, what do I do? And he was like, man, you gotta put it down. You have to put it down. He's telling me to go to an animal hospital and get it euthanized. Right? Where'd my toy go? Dude, I hate it when my toys just fucking teleport out of the sink. Is that right? Printer. You know what I hate about this shit? Is how is it fucking implied? I was about to quit the game. How is it implied that I'm supposed to click this and drag it onto the toy? How am I supposed to know that? So I'm asking ChatGPT, and I'm talking about the mouse, and apparently there's another one down there. They got killed. It was dead on the floor, and my brother is like, oh, it's so cute. And I'm sitting here with the dead mouse at my desk, and I'm upset a little. And I get mad at my brother, and I'm like, don't, well, I'm not gonna say his name. And I tell my brother not to say that, you know, because it's like disrespectful. My mom gets really pissed at me. She's like, don't talk to your brother like that. You know, he's just a kid. And my mom's also brings up this time that I forgot to put water in for the cats. She said she got home and the cats had no water, and she's like, you care about these random animals, but you don't care about your own cats. And I'm like, Mom, this animal's dead. You know, I feel like we shouldn't be talking this way. It's disrespectful to talk about anything this way. And she's like really kind of riding on me about this. Like, she's pissed. She's like saying like, you gotta up your chore game and all this. And I guess she's right. And then I'm just not having it. So I just, she's yelling at me pretty much, and she looks really pissed off. But you know, I think I took one bite of my dinner. I didn't even have a chance to really eat it. And then I call the animal hospital, and I don't know what it is, but I just start breaking down. Like, I can't get a word out, and I'm just looking at this mouse on my desk, and I'm just crying and talking to him, and I'm shivering, or not, like my words are shivering, you know what I mean? Like, you can't get over them, like. And the lady's like, what's wrong? She doesn't know what's wrong. And I tell her, you know, it's okay. Or I'm just like, she's like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because she told me that they were open, so I was like, okay, they're open. And then my mom, I think, realizes that and she gets quiet, and then I just leave. I take the mouse, and I leave, and it's freezing out, and it's snowing, and my car is covered in ice, because I hadn't driven it that day. I was having like a lazy day. So I spend the next maybe 10-15 minutes scraping the ice off my windshield, right, while the mouse is sitting in the car, and I have the dash light on, and the mouse just in this jar in my car, and I'm scraping the ice off, and it takes me forever. And eventually I scrape it off to a good enough point, and then I start driving, and I didn't scrape it well enough because I'm up the road and I can't see shit. And I remember freaking out because it's nighttime, so everyone has their headlights on, but anytime anyone came close, since there was so much ice, like a thin layer of ice on my windshield, it would blind me. Like, think about like in the fog, right? In the fog, when it you use your lights, you can't see anything because the fog like just gets white. That was my entire windshield. So I could not see at all. And then I just turned on my hazards and I just stopped. And I get out of my car and I take the brush and I just start like, no, I think what I did was I started brushing my headlights. Yeah, so I brushed my headlights because I forgot that. And so it was completely dark too, even when there wasn't other people. So I took the snow off my headlights and I probably started brushing the windshield too. And then, like, I remember, like, there wasn't anyone out, but this, like, truck got behind me, and then people started collecting, so I started speeding up. And I got that done.
That was super quick.
Damn, I don't know if I can afford this. Yeah. Might have to do a different toy. Alright. So I start driving, and it's 10 minutes away, and I get there, and I look, and he's just in the fetal position, just curled over. And, you know, I didn't make it in time. And I don't know, I start dashing. I probably dashed for like 2 hours. And my girlfriend's out doing something. Honestly, I want to pull up the text because this was probably like 3 weeks ago at this point, more honestly. But she thought I was talking about like a mouse, a computer mouse. So she thought I was just fucking joking the whole time. And then when I get home, you know, I'm planning on burying the mouse. My girlfriend's like, do you want to call me? And I'm like, I'm going to bury this mouse first. And she's like, what? I thought it was a computer mouse. And I'm like, no. And then we're calling in the driveway. And she's like, can I see it? And I'm like, yeah. And I realize that it's breathing. And it somehow didn't die. And it must have been door dashing for like 2 hours. And it didn't die. So, it's not funny. I was laughing about the game. I'm calling her, and she's like, wait, breathe on it. She tells me to breathe on it, and I'm like, I don't know, because I was scared about like bacteria, I guess, you know, it's wild, and also it's like rotting maybe. But she's like, just breathe on it. I'm like, okay, and I breathe on it, and it twitches. You know, like clearly it's not dead. So I'm like, what do I do? And we're sitting there and we're calling, and she's like, okay, well, we forgot how to put it down. And she's like looking it up, and she's telling me like, okay, the game is glitched. The game's glitched. Oh wait, no, it's just 3 different parts. she's telling me like I can't picture you doing any of these. I don't know if you can do any of these. It's telling me that the best way, the most ethical way is you know, with a blunt object, because that's the quickest, most ethical, humane way to put it down, is to take a blunt object to it. And she's like, I don't think you could do that. And I'm really thinking about it, and then I'm on ChatGPT, and he's like, just go. And I go to the animal hospital, and I walk in there with the mouse in the jar. I have it on the table, and I walk up, and I'm kind of praying that she doesn't remember me, because, you know, I called her at least like 2 hours ago, if I remember right, crying on the phone, telling her I had an issue, and I remember telling her, I was like, there's this animal. That's like the only thing I could get out before I broke. I was like just crying, you know. I could not talk. Well, you know, I got up there and I'm like, hey, I'm here to euthanize an animal. And I remember, like, you know, I didn't feel like, oh, what? I have everything. All right, easy boat fix. You know, maybe this was a good game to choose after all. This is pretty cool. I got this for free on the winter Steam sale. It was just free. Okay, well, I walk in there, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I have to euthanize this animal. And she's like, hold on, and she's like talking to the other people who got there first. I remember it was pretty late. It was like sometime in the AMs, and yeah, there were just all these dogs there, and I was so surprised that there were all these dogs there because it was so late, you know. And, you know, they were all talking with these dogs. I remember, like, the girl, she, you know, it was like a lady, and she was like talking to her dog because she was having like liquid diarrhea everywhere, and I guess that's why they had to take her in. So the clerk was talking to the lady, and then she gets back to me, and I'm like, I have to euthanize this animal. And she's like, can I take a look at it? And I have it like under the desk, sort of like under the, it's like a bar sort of thing, you know, like a clerk table, like picture like a gas station clerk place, but it's animal emergency hospital. And then I pulled up, and she's like, yeah, let me go back and talk to my doctors, or to the doctors and stuff, you know. And she goes back, and she comes back, and she's like, you know, euthanization for an animal, for any animal, it's $250. And I'm like, you know, I'm raising my eyebrows right now, but you can't see me. I'm like, you know, I can't afford that. You know, I really, you know, I don't even have that much money, period. So, how do I see my pins? Because I'm not gonna remember this shite. Well, this seems like a cool toy to fix. So she tells me $250, and she's like, yeah, I know, it's outrageous. She's like mad. It seems like clearly she's mad. She thinks that I'm not even that mad, honestly. And she's like sitting there, she's like, listen, there's this place, it's a little bit farther away, but I know that there's a good chance that they'll probably do it for you. Let me get you their number. And she's like looking it up and giving me their number and stuff. And then this guy walks out. He looks upset, but it's one of the doctors, and he's in like this blue outfit. And he's like, hey man, we'll take the mouse. We'll take the mouse, man. And I'm like, honestly, his face and everything, and me in this place at like 2 a.m. holding this mouse, dying mouse, I like tears are at my eyes. Like, I'm on the brink of tears. And this guy is telling me we'll take the mouse. He has his arm stretched out. And I hand him the mouse. And he's like, do you want your jar back? And I'm like, no. I said, thank you. But I'm like really like holding it in. And then the clerk is like, do you want me to ring him up? And he's like, no, it's fine. We got it. And then I'm like, thank you. And I like wave my hand, but I realized that like if I would have stayed another second, I would have been sobbing. So I say thank you to the clerk, and I just exit out those doors. You know, they open, and I leave, and I get in my car, and I tell my girlfriend, and I'm like, yeah. And I remember we were about to call and play Roblox or something. That's why I went home, and I was gonna bury the mouse and then call her. But she's telling me, you know, she's tired, but we're talking too. I felt a lot better. I was like, went from being really upset to talking to her and feeling better. And then she goes to bed. I'm like, yeah, if you want to go to bed, I can DoorDash, I don't mind. So I start DoorDashing and head down south. But yeah, that was awful experience. I felt awful. I felt really bad. I was like, I could have had this thing euthanized hours ago. Just sat in my car, in the icy car, for so long, and I just thought it was dead. I remember my mom texted me. She was like, "How's it going?" You know, I said, "The mouse didn't make it. It died on the way to the pet hospital." That's probably still what she thinks. Let's just get a ton of these. Well, anyways, after that, my girlfriend goes to bed, and I start DoorDashing again. And, you know, it winds up taking me down south to the city where there's more people. And, you know, that late, the only place that's really open is just like McDonald's. Like that's pretty much it. So I get in this like loop where I'm just going to McDonald's, going somewhere really close, because you know there's so many McDonald's everywhere that anyone who orders McDonald's is within 3 miles from the nearest McDonald's. So I'm doing that, making like probably $3 to $5 per run, and it's the same McDonald's. And then I remember every time I get there, there's this guy just fiddling with his plastic wrap. And then probably like the fourth time I get there, I get out of the car to walk in, and everything's covered in plastic wraps, and all the employees are just eating. And it's a 24 hours McDonald's, so I guess they had something. But I had to tell the customer that I was dealing with that the McDonald's just was shut down, it was closed. And then so I do that, and I guess obviously no more McDonald's orders. The next one I get is for CVS. So it's a shopping order that I have to do when I go in. And I press, you know, arrived at store. And I start shopping, and it says shopping for Joker. The guy's name is Joker. I'm shopping for this guy named Joker. Right? So I go in there and I'm like, all right. Joker, he wants 2 bottles of like ultra deep clean super detergent, or like just like some random fucking detergent, but he wanted 2 bottles of it. And I'm like, what the fuck does someone want 2 bottles of detergent at like 3-4 a.m. delivered to their house? And he lived fucking far too. He lived so far I was getting paid $20 without tip. Like that was the base pay. And DoorDash is not generous with their tips, but I think if it's farther away, they're more inclined to tip, or not to pay more, because if you think about it, if something's far away, you have to drive back afterwards. So you're not just getting paid for the drive there, you should be getting paid for the drive back, because, you know, it's really out of your way. So you live far away, probably like, I want to say like more than half an hour. for the CVS. So I pick it up, and honestly, you know, it was not pleasant. The lady who was working at the CVS was fucking rude. Like, I buzzed it, the thing, because you need a buzz at CVS. They have everything fucking locked up. So I had a buzz to get my detergent, and they only had one of them, and it wasn't even the right one. So I had to get it with a substitute, and they only had one of each detergent. So I got a substitute, and I was texting the guy. I was like, hey, I didn't say his name. I was like, hey, Joker. I'm cutting that shit out. Why the fuck? Wait, what the So holy shit. I said, hey, man. They don't have the detergent. Is it okay if I get the substitutes? I'm just talking to him. Because, you know, I buzzed it the first time, and they take it out. And I scan it. I'm like, oh, this isn't the right one. Just give me a second. And the lady was pissed off. She was like, just say what you want. She's like, I can't grab. I can't remember, but she was like saying like, I can't do this. And then I was like, can I get the Downy Extra Super Clean? Can I get one of those? It's right there. And she's like, that's it. That's what you need to say. Like, she wanted me to be like hyper specific, just like easy. She was just like fucking riding on me. And then the next time I called it, I just got this sweet little dude, and he was chill. Just this sweet big old guy with glasses and shit, you know, working CVS at 3 a.m. So I do that one. What? So I pick up that, I scan it, and I'm like kind of getting freaked out. I'm in my head thinking about this. I'm like, what the fuck does some dude need Joker need with 2 bottles of detergent this late in the night, especially this far away. So I'm driving, and I'm like, why is it so far away too? And I'm like, what if he wants to just fucking kidnap me? Because here's the other thing. It wasn't a drop-off order. It was a pin order. There's 3 kinds of deliveries you can get. You can get a drop-off, a hand to customer, and a pin order. Which means you have to go up to them and ask for them for a pin to complete the order. And I was freaking out. I was like, he wants me to come up in his house and get this fucking pin. And I'm gonna be defenseless too, because I'm gonna be carrying this jug of detergent, which is heavy, you know? So I'm really freaking out. I'm texting my friends because my girlfriend's asleep. I'm texting my friends, and I'm like, guys, like, this guy named Joker wanted me to deliver his detergent at 3 a.m. And I'm like, first of all, like, what does the guy want with detergent this late? I'm like, why is he so fucking far? And why does he want a pin? Why does he want to give me a pin? And I'm texting him. I was texting him at CVS, and he wasn't responding to me. And I'm freaking the fuck out. And I'm texting all my friends. I'm like, guys, if I don't respond, this is the address. And I send them the address. I'm like, I don't feel safe at all. And as I'm getting close, the horror is just setting in. I'm like freaking out. And so I'm like, I remember there's this thing on DoorDash. It's like, if you don't feel safe, you can get on a call with this person. They always put that up on the app. Like, if you don't feel safe, you can get in on a call with like a safety person or something. So I'm like trying to do that, and I can't figure it out. So I get there, and I like last ditch resort. No one is talking to me. So I text my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, you know, can you call me? Can you just be on the phone with me for a second? I need to talk to someone. And then also I get there, and you know, I'm a little relieved because it's hold up, size 2. I'm a little relieved because it seems like it's an apartment building, you know, sort of. It's like a little, also like, it's late, you know, no one's up, but it's an apartment building. And I buzz it to get in, and I don't know if it works, and so it's like not working, or maybe it does, but like I had to like buzz it and call the thing, and it dialed in his room, and he like hangs up or something like that. There was no response. Like, it sounded like a phone call, but there was no one at the other line. So he was like hiding his voice from me or something, and that even made me even more freaked out. So I'm like calling on customer support, and I'm texting the guy. I'm like, hey dude, I'm out here. I'm like, where you at? or something. I was like hoping, I was praying to God you wouldn't respond, because you know, I wanted anything besides to go into his room. So I'm on the line with customer support, and I'm like, hey, my client is asleep. It's an AI. Usually it's an AI. I'm like, client is asleep. I'm like, can you call him one more time? I'm like, okay, and I call him one more time. By the way, I called him when I was sitting out there. So I called him like a total of 3 times, and he's not responding. And I'm like, why is he not responding? Why is he not picking up his phone or anything? And so I get back, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I called him again. Or I don't really talk like that, because it's a robot. But I tell the robot that I called him again. And she's like, okay, okay. And then we're talking more, like, we're gonna change it from a pin to a drop off, so I can just drop it off, and then they'll mark it delivered. And while I'm doing that, I get a call. I get a call, and I pick it up, and it's the guy, and he's like, where you at? I buzzed you in. And I lied to him. I lied to him. He's like, come up to my door. I buzzed you in. And I'm like, listen, man. I thought you were asleep. You weren't picking up your phone, so I just dropped it off. Can you just give me your pin, and we'll call it a day? And he's like, you dropped it off? And I'm like, yeah, I dropped it off. I'm like, can I get the pin? And he hangs up. He hangs up. So I get in my car, because I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna come down here or something and like look for me. And I get in my car, and I'm like looking over, and I start driving away. Honestly, like at that point, I'm like not trying to stick around. I was just so fucking paranoid. And you know, I call them back, and I'm like, run it through again, talk to him, tell him I want to make a drop box because he's asleep. And they're like, okay, it's marked as delivered. I got my bag, my 20 bucks. Honestly, that was a good deal, because I was not door dashing again after that. That was the last dash of the night. And I started driving home, and my girlfriend texts me. She just wakes up in the middle of the night because she's on a vacation in Peru, and I guess there's wasn't air conditioning or something, or her dad was snoring too loud. Because, you know, they're on vacation, just like in Peru, like I just said. So I don't know, do that information as you will in your mind to paint an image. So she texts me, and she's like, are you okay? What's up? And I'm like, yeah. And we're texting, and I'm telling her, I was like, oh, I just had the craziest shit happen to me. And you know, she's up too. And when I get home, we even play Roblox for a little until.
No, I was gonna kill you.
You thought I was getting a snack, but really,
no, I was just gonna.
What? So actually, why would you try and kill me if I was getting a snack?
Probably
like 5:30, and I'm telling her I have to get off because my little brother gets up for school at 6 a.m. because he's in middle school and the bus comes. I'm in college, so I don't have to, and also I was on winter break for college. But yeah, we ended up playing Roblox, and it was a fun time. So it wound up going from a pretty bad night for me to a fun night because of my girlfriend, who I'm very lucky to have, you know. I really am very lucky to have met her. It was kind of like a miracle, honestly. Well, that was pretty much the whole night. And I feel like I want to talk about something else. Yeah, I guess I have a few videos in the works, aka I have them written down in my notes app, and I'm scripting one of them right now. I've been editing this one video for months. I hate editing. Or not hate, but I'm like a perfectionist, sort of. Like I want to say OCDs, but you know, I don't have OCD. Or at least I probably don't. And I just keep editing it and adding stuff and watching over it. And so I cannot finish it. I can't finish it. And then this other video I've been scripting, but I'm just a lazy piece of shit and I can't get it done. And anybody who knows me can attest to that fact. But, you know, I'd like to have a big collection of videos, but I think this will come out nice. I feel like this will be entertaining. This feels like I was kind of inspired by, like, Technoblade's old videos or, like, Ken's videos where they just kind of play shit and talk to you the whole time. And it's always kind of memorable and nice. I think we'll stop at the bear there, and I don't know, this was a cool game. Alright, well, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early and shit like that. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See ya. So like I said, she's gone. It's been beyond difficult, and a lot of that has been accepting that I was responsible and that I have to take accountability for it and acknowledge it and try to understand what I put her through. Of course, there's been grief. I don't think that ever goes away. As it's said, you know, it doesn't get easier, it just gets more familiar. It is a painful but real thing that you feel with your first loss. The reality of life's tragedy. That nothing can truly be great and real and not warrant immense loss.
And in the meantime, when I think about the people I love, it is not the ending that makes me happy, that gives me value. No, I think the love itself is enough, that it is meaningful in and of itself. And that it is true that everything good must end is a sad thing to me, a tragedy. That might sound cynical, like I'm being a downer, but I disagree. To believe truly that life is beautiful and worthwhile is to accept that it will be sad when the jig is up. It's not perfect, but that's the deal we get.